Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, going to be talking through a couple player props I like over on Prizepicks for the Week 8 college football slate on Saturday. We got a full slate of games Saturday. We got some big time matchups once again this week. Alabama versus Tennessee. We got Georgia versus Texas, which is a game that I'm really excited to watch. We also got some other good games on Saturday, like Colorado, Arizona should be a pretty good one. And there's some games on Friday too. Louisville, Miami should be a good game Saturday. But we got a full slate of games Saturday. I've got 4 props that I do like for these games that we're going to discuss, that we're going to talk about, break down in this video. As always, guys, before we do talk through these plays, make sure you guys hit that like button down below if you do enjoy these videos, these Prizepicks videos, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Also, be sure to check out Prizepicks. Sign up, use promo code NOAH. When you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and place your first lineup, you will instantly get $50 in promo funds added to your account. Cool promotion that Prizepicks is doing for all new users. And they have a promo right now for the start of the NBA season, which does start on Tuesday. And as you can see on the screen, there's a free square available on Prizepicks right now. Anthony Edwards points prop is set at 0.5, and this is a free pick Prizepicks is giving to all users. So if you're not on Prizepicks, that's another incentive to sign up. NBA season starts on Tuesday. Super excited for NBA season. It's my favorite sport. We're going to be covering NBA all season long, putting out picks daily for you guys. So definitely get over to Prizepicks, use these promotions, use these free squares. And again, if you don't have an account, make sure to sign up and use that promo code NOAH so that way you get those $50 in promo funds added to your account once you play your first lineup. And then I do also want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper because we have a partnership with Sleeper as well. And if you guys want to check out Sleeper, you can do so linked down below in the description, or just download the Sleeper app, sign up, and use code NOAH. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. You put in $100, Sleeper will match that, give you an additional $100 to play with. And Sleeper does offer college football props and projections that you can take. So if you want to bet college football stuff, you can do that over on Sleeper. Sleeper also offers NFL, NBA, MLB, all the major sports, and you can mix and match sports over there. So definitely check them out, guys. And again, make sure to use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Sleeper. But we got a full slate of games for Saturday, guys, for college football. And I got 4 props to share in this video. So let's go ahead and break them down and talk through the plays I'm liking. So the first 2 plays that I like are going to be a quarterback and receiver stack. So we're going to take Peyton Thorne for over or more than 192.5 pass yards. And we're going to pair him with Keandre Lambert-Smith for more than 50.5 receiving yards. So these 2 plays directly correlate. Peyton Thorne, if he goes over his pass yards prop, it's very likely that his top target, Keandre Lambert-Smith, also goes over his receiving yards prop. And you can just kind of look at their game logs this season, and you can just you can see that based off the game logs. You look at Peyton Thorne's game log this season, just over his last few games, over, under, over, and you directly compare that to Keandre Lambert-Smith, and it's very similar. Under, but then over. So pretty likely that if you get Thorne throw for 193 yards, you're also going to get 51 yards from Keandre Lambert-Smith. And Peyton Thorne this season, he kind of had a rough start to the season. In their opening game against, I believe, Alabama A&M, I mean, they destroyed them, and he threw for 300-plus yards. That was a really good game for him. But then the California game was a really tough game for Peyton Thorne. He threw 4 interceptions, only threw for 165 yards, barely completed 50% of his passes. Tough game there, and then I'm pretty sure he got benched the next game, but then they brought him back for the game against Arkansas. And ever since the Arkansas game, he's started to look a lot better. He's been more efficient as a passer. He threw for 213 yards against Arkansas, threw for over 300 yards against Oklahoma. And then in a tough matchup against Georgia, he still threw for 200 yards against Georgia, didn't throw any interceptions. So he's been looking a lot better lately. And now you got a matchup against Missouri, which I don't think is like the greatest matchup overall, but this is definitely a game that I think has some shootout potential. Missouri has kind of an explosive offense. They can put up points. This is a spot where Auburn's going on the road, so they're 4-point underdogs in this game. I think there's definitely a chance you see Auburn playing from behind and forced to throw here. And Peyton Thorne, if we stack him up with Keandre Lambert-Smith and we get 193 yards from Thorne, I think we're very likely to also get 51 yards from Keandre Lambert-Smith. You look at his game log this season, very directly correlates with Thorne. When Thorne goes over, that typically means Lambert-Smith goes over as well. And you look at Lambert-Smith's game log lately, he's had some really good games, but getting a lot of targets. Last 3 games, 9, 7, and 8 targets, so he's been heavily involved. He's been putting up big receiving yard games. He's a guy that does offer some big play upside. I mean, you look at the game against Georgia, He had 7 catches for 95 yards, had 5 catches for 77 yards against Oklahoma. Against Arkansas, 5 catches for 156 yards. Also had 2 touchdowns. In the game against New Mexico, he only had 2 catches in that game, but had 72 yards on 2 catches. So it's not like we need him to get 7, 8 catches to go over this line. He could go over this line on 2 or 3 catches because he's got that big play upside. And I do expect Auburn to be trailing in this game. They're underdogs on the road here, so I think they're going to be forced to throw. And I do like these 2 plays because they directly correlate. If Thorne goes over, it's very likely that Lambert Smith goes over. And I was looking at FanDuel Sportsbook and kind of comparing some lines. Right now on FanDuel, they have Peyton Thorne's pass prop set at 197.5, and they have Lambert Smith's receiving yards prop set at 55.5. So if we compare the Prizepicks lines to FanDuel lines, and honestly, I think FanDuel's lines are always going to typically be sharper than the DFS apps. In my opinion, the sportsbooks lines are always going to be sharper than the DFS lines, like Prizepicks, Underdog, Sleeper, stuff like that. So we're getting kind of a 5-yard discount on both these props if you directly compare them to what FanDuel has. So I like this as our first 2 plays for Saturday. We're going to take a quarterback receiver stack of Peyton Thorne, more than 192.5 pass yards, and we're going to pair that with Keandre Lambert Smith, more than 50.5 receiving yards. We talked about how these plays, again, directly correlate. If Thorne goes over, it's very likely that Lambert Smith goes over as well. So that's the first 2 props that I like for Saturday. And the next prop we're going to take a look at is going to be Isaac Brown. And I like Isaac Brown for more than 68.5 rush yards. So Isaac Brown has been taking on a bigger role lately since Maurice Turner went down for Louisville. Maurice Turner did play their first 2 games of the season and was getting a decent amount of volume. Now, he only got 4 carries against Appalachian State, but then against Austin Peay, and then he did get 12 carries against Jacksonville State. But then you look at the last 3 or 4 games without Maurice Turner, and it's been Isaac Brown that has been the guy getting a lot of the volume, and especially as of late. So against Notre Dame in a tough matchup, you still saw Isaac Brown go over this rush yards line, 13 carries for 72 yards. And then against SMU, 10 carries for 117 yards. And then last week against Virginia, 20 carries for 146 yards. Isaac Brown's snaps have really started to increase lately, and he's clearly been the RB1 for Louisville. Last 3 games, he's played 45, 57, and 43 snaps after only playing 22, 32, and 20 snaps through their first 3 games. So not only is the volume increasing in terms of his carries and opportunities, but the playing time is also increasing. He's also just been on the field more. And you look at this matchup against Miami, this does look like a tough matchup on paper because Miami has been pretty good against the run this season, but you have to look a little bit more into it and look at Miami's schedule. Miami really hasn't faced a lot of good teams this season. They did play Florida week 1, and Florida did have a good game on the ground. Montrell Johnson ran for over 100 yards against Miami. And then they faced Florida A&M. They faced Ball State, South Florida, not great teams, not teams with really good running games. Then they faced Virginia Tech, and Bashaw Tutin, he ran for over 100 yards against Miami. He had a really good game. And then last week they faced California. Surprisingly, Jaden Ott did not do very well against Miami. Jaden Ott, really good running back. He only had 7 carries for 2 yards, so he kind of struggled. But, Montrell Johnson ran for over 100 yards against Miami. Bashaw Tutin ran for over 100 yards against Miami. Isaac Brown's going to get plenty of volume here, probably 14 to 15 carries. And I don't think the matchup is as bad as it seems on paper, just because Miami has not really faced a lot of great teams this season. Louisville's shown kind of an explosive offense this year. Louisville's been able to put up points. They've been able to move the ball down the field. And this is a game that has a really high total. This is a game that is expected to be very high scoring, 60.5 total in this Miami-Louisville game. So I think we got some shootout potential here as well. If we're going to continue to get 14, 15 carries for Isaac Brown, even maybe closer to 20 like he got last week, I think we got a really good chance at him going over 68.5 rush yards. He's been very efficient as a runner this season. He's averaging over 8 yards per carry. Now, is that sustainable? Do we expect Isaac Brown to continue to average over 8 yards per carry? Probably not, but we don't need him to average over 8 yards per carry if he's going to get 14, 15 rush attempts. We only need him to average 4.5 yards per carry, something like that, 4.5 to 5. So in this matchup against Miami, which seems like a tough one, don't think it's as tough of a spot just because Miami has not faced a lot of good teams with run games. But when they have faced good teams with run games and when they face good running backs like Montrell Johnson, like Bashaw Tutin, we saw both those guys have a lot of success on the ground against this Miami team, and I could definitely see that being the case here with Isaac Brown, who is taking on a really big role lately without Maurice Turner. And it doesn't seem like Maurice Turner is going to play this week. We did get a report earlier, like on Monday, that Maurice Turner there was a possibility that he could be back on the practice field this week, but no signs are really pointing to him playing in this game. So still expecting a big role here for Isaac Brown. So that's the third prop I like for Saturday, guys. And then the fourth and final prop that I like, we're going to take a look at a Shedeur Sanders prop. And I like Shedeur Sanders for more than 25 pass completions. So you look at what Shedeur Sanders has done this season. He has pushed or gone over this line in all but one game. He went over week 1 against North Dakota State, had 26 completions on 34 pass attempts. Then he did go under in a tough matchup on the road against Nebraska, but then went over against Colorado State. He pushed this line against Baylor, went over against UCF, went over against Kansas State. Everyone knows this. The books know this, obviously, but for those of you that don't know, Colorado is one of the most pass-heavy offenses in the country. This season, they're averaging 41 pass attempts per game, which is like top 10 in the country. And then if you look at their passing play percentage, they're passing the ball at a 63.5% clip, which is third highest in the country. Only Rice and Hawaii are passing the ball at a higher percentage than Colorado. So this Colorado team, they just throw the ball a ton. Shedeur Sanders is probably going to throw the ball close to 40 times here. I mean, you look at his pass attempts line, that line is set at 39.5. I think it's very likely that if we get 39, 40 pass attempts from Shedeur Sanders, we can also get 25 completions. Shedeur has been pretty accurate as a passer this season, just in terms of his completion percentage. Against North Dakota State, completed 76.5% of his passes. Then he did only complete 60.5% against Nebraska, but then 73% against Colorado State. The game against Baylor, he did only complete 61% of his passes, but the last 2 weeks he's completed over 80% of his passes, had an 80% completion percentage against UCF, and an 85% completion percentage against Kansas State. So Shedeur's kind of taken he's not really always looking for the deep shots. He'll take those easy, quick completions, kind of, shorter across the middle. Doesn't really always have to look for the deep shot. He's been doing that a lot lately. And if if this Colorado team's going to continue to throw the ball as much as they are, which I don't think that's going to change, I do expect Colorado to just continue to be an offense that's just going to air it out. We should have a very good chance at getting 25 completions from Shedeur Sanders if he's going to throw the ball anywhere near 40 times. I mean, you look at his games this season where he's had 40 pass attempts or more. In those games, he had 36, 25, and 34 completions. And again, the game where he had 25 against Baylor, he had a 61% completion percentage, which is well below his season average. His season average completion percentage this year is 72.5%. So, like this spot for Shedeur to complete 25 passes just with how much Colorado throws the ball. And this is another game kind of similar to the Miami-Louisville game. This is another game that has a lot of shootout potential, Colorado and Arizona. Arizona's kind of another explosive offense that can put up points. Noah Fafita, really good quarterback that can air it out. He's got some really good receivers. And if you look at the total in this Colorado-Arizona game, this is another game that has a really high total. Right now, the total in this game is sitting at, let's see if I can find it. Let's see. It's sitting at, where is it? I was looking, there it is. So, yeah, 57.5 total in this Colorado-Arizona game. 2.5-point spread, so it's expected to be kind of a close game. Colorado is going to be going on the road, so I think on the road, it's a little bit more likely that Colorado plays from behind here. And if they're playing from behind, I mean, we know they're going to throw it a ton. They already throw it a ton, but if they get behind, you can expect a ton of pass attempts. So, honestly, I kind of like both these plays. Over 39.5 pass attempts, over 25 completions, but because Shedeur has been so accurate this year, especially as of late, I think I like completions a little bit more, just because I could definitely see a scenario where he maybe only throws 34, 35 passes, kind of like the UCF game. He only threw 35 passes against UCF, but he completed 28 passes. Like, he was really efficient as a passer. That's kind of how he's been lately. So, yeah, I like both those plays, but I think 25 pass completions is the one I like most. So that's what we're going to roll with, guys, as our 4 props for Saturday. So we have a quarterback receiver stack of Peyton Thorne over 192.5 pass yards paired with Keandre Lambert-Smith, more than 50.5 rush or receiving yards. And then we're going to take Isaac Brown for more than 68.5 rush yards and Shedeur Sanders for more than 25 pass completions. So let's see if we can hit all 4 of these plays for college football on Saturday, guys. As always, I do appreciate you guys watching these Prizepicks videos, supporting the Prizepicks content. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below. If you do enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And again, guys, go check out Prizepicks. Make sure to sign up for Prizepicks and use promo code NOAH. When you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, place your first lineup. You will instantly get $50 in promo funds added to your account. So be sure to check out Prizepicks if you guys have not yet. But good luck this week. As always, guys, thanks for watching the videos and supporting the content, and I'll see you in the next one.